Brilliance Audio presents the unabridged recording of One Nation Under God, How Corporate America Invented Christian America by Kevin M. Kruse. Performed by Jeff Cummings. For Maggie and Sam. Introduction. The inauguration of President Dwight D. Eisenhower was much more than a political ceremony. It was, in many ways, a religious consecration. Though such a characterization might startle us today, the voters who elected Eisenhower twice by overwhelming margins would not have been surprised. In his acceptance speech at the 1952 Republican National Convention, he promised that the coming campaign would be a great crusade for freedom. As he traveled across America that summer, Eisenhower met often with Reverend Billy Graham, his close friend, to receive spiritual guidance and recommendations for passages of Scripture to use in his speeches. Indeed, the Republican nominee talked so much about spirituality on the stump that legendary New York Times reporter Scotty Reston likened his campaign to William Jennings Bryan's old invasion of the Bible Belt during the Chautauqua Circuit days. On Election Day, Americans answered his call. Eisenhower won 55% of the popular vote and a staggering 442 to 89 margin in the Electoral College. Reflecting on the returns, Eisenhower saw nothing less than a mandate for a national religious revival. "I think one of the reasons I was elected was to help lead this country spiritually," he confided to Graham. "We need a spiritual renewal." The inaugural ceremonies on January 20th, 1953, set the tone for the new administration. Some of Eisenhower's supporters tried to get Congress to designate it a National Day of Prayer, but even without such an official blessing, the day still had all the markings of one. In the past, incoming presidents had attended religious services on the morning of their inauguration, but usually discreetly. Before Harry Truman's inauguration in 1949, for instance, the president, his family, and a few cabinet officials made an unannounced visit to St. John's Episcopal Church for a brief 15-minute service, with only a few regular parishioners witnessing the moment. Eisenhower, in contrast, turned spirituality into spectacle. At a transition meeting with his cabinet nominees, he announced that they and their families were invited to a special religious service at National.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?